Welcome to our podcast, What Happened to the Lucky Country? Today's topic, should Australia partner with anyone else but the US? I don't think an Apple one has exploded anywhere in the world. Samsung had a few for a while.
That's right.
They fixed that. As you would expect, something like Samsung.
Yeah.
So this one's more about Australia's role in the world.
I forgot we're doing two.
That was a short one. That was a short one.
This is Australia's role in the world, and really at the crux of it is, are we doing the right thing staying with America? And
Do you trust America? No.
You
So-
trust China? No.
so
I trust America more than China.
There you go.
yeah,
So do I.
I do too. But they're our largest trading partner.
China.
Yeah.
They've got 90% of the world's earth minerals.
Yeah.
At the moment. Well, they process 90% of the world's.
Yeah.
And they own 80%
They
of
own
the
80%.
minerals.
Okay.
I've got those numbers. So they're going to win the war.
Well, it can. So the US are ramping up their processing capability for exactly this reason. But I sort of think you need to separate those two. So the reason I go with the US is because they need us from a regional point of view. We need them for their size. So from a military point of view,
We've got something to offer.
we've got something to offer.
The comms.
Geographics.
The comms stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they've got a black hole in their comms
exactly,
around the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But and the
European
rare
Union?
earth stuff. I mean, one of the things to me that came out in COVID is that whole what called supply chain stuff.
Yeah.
So we now pick on this one a little bit, and it won't be that bit that screws us up next time. It'll be stainless steel that goes
Yeah.
round the rare earths. So it'll be.
And we're too small a country to do a review of all the things that we need to be independent.
I don't think we can be self-sufficient.
We can't be self-sufficient. Although I read an interview with a guy this week that said he's trying to get a rare earth minerals project up, and he can't get the money
Yeah.
for it because China controls the price.
Yeah.
And if
It's a threat.
they just stop selling it and it goes down, and they're out of business. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. What's Australia's international role to play? And I did some interesting things to start with. I searched on how we see ourselves. We see ourselves as beach dwellers, kangaroos in the backyard, good guys, relaxed, she'll be right. In sport, we bat well above our average. Funny, take the piss. We were the 8th best country in the world by reputation in 2004. That slipped in 25 to 11th. So we're slipping down a little bit. Biggest continent, biggest island. But more and more conflict at home. More robberies, more... So something else going. Anything else you see?
No, I think that highlights the gap between the rich and the poor.
It does.
And I've always looked at different countries around the world, and you think the stable countries, there's not going to be a big gap between super rich and super poor. And Australia, I don't think, has ever had many super rich or super poor. You go to somewhere like India, where it's really more obvious.
Yeah.
And I think that's always going to be a stability issue. So if you've got a lot of people who don't have shit, and they can see lots of people with lots of shit, that's when your disharmony's going to kick in.
I was talking to some wealthy people the other day, and they said they're all moving their businesses to New Zealand.
Because the capital gains has been kicked,
Well, they put it in, then they took it out because they learnt, and now we're still going right in the wave.
Yeah.
What's interesting is how we're seen by others, and I got this from one of the big American papers, I can't remember which one, as a mini America, we're seen as. Scenic tourist destination.
They wouldn't
A
know
bad
where it is.
investment.
They wouldn't know where Australia is, most of them.
At least.
No, it's a long
Most of
time.
them don't have a passport.
Racist.
They see us as racist. Don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. America sees us as racist. Well, I'm not saying anything, but it feels a bit like a pot there.
Yeah, it's a fascinating because I lived in America, as you know, and I thought it was going to be a third world nation in our lifetime, and I still stick by that.
Yeah, I think you're
There's
right.
the more you're out of the city, for every metre you're away from the centre of this the CBD, there's more poor, there's more
That was
intelligence.
to Gary's point about the gap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The US, no other country on earth where the gap is
That big.
massive. Yeah.
And you've got Trump making the rich richer
Yeah.
and the poor poorer. So, by population, we're 54th in the world, but by GDP, we're 12th in the world. I talk about the UN right now. The UN has 3 issues with us, and
Do you mean the Committee for Peace or the Peace Board or the UN?
the UN.
UN.
What did I say?
no, that's what you said. That's all right. He's just picking on what is the UN.
What is the UN? Well,
Finish your sentence about the UN.
taken.
Talk about the UN first, and then we'll pick holes in what you say.
The UN, what pisses me off about Australian government is that it's always sticking its hand up. We're a nobody country.
Yep.
We're got a lot of land,
Yep.
but there's got no people.
Yep.
And we've got a defence spend of 5.5 billion, and we wouldn't last a day if someone tried to take us over.
That's if we noticed.
That's your,
I saw a video of a guy saying, you don't touch my footy team, don't touch my ute,
I'm happy.
don't touch my bar. Doesn't mean any fucking difference.
Hey.
Anyway, so I feel like we try to play above our weight, and that's causing problems. Like recognising Palestine early on.
I'm not sure it's causing me that much problems, to be honest. I don't have a problem with some of those things.
I don't have a problem
Like the
with them.
Palestine one, I think everyone was thinking that, but not saying it.
Yeah, I agree with the outcome. I just don't agree with us being the first to put our hands up.
I don't think we should be first, but
Well,
I don't think we should sit on our hands.
Well, the UK's got the same problem, right? So the UK's 5% of greenhouse gases, or something, a number similar to ours, tiny. They don't do any manufacturing anymore or anything else. And they're similar to us. They put their hand up first. And the counter argument, I'm not saying I agree with it, is we need to be seen to be doing the right thing. Even though, let's say Australia did get to net zero, it would have virtually no impact on the world.
No,
But we want to be seen to be doing the right thing.
and I agree we should be doing the right thing, even though it makes no difference to the world. Because America's and India's and China's output is so
Yeah,
high.
that's it. Yeah.
We're not as big as a province in China.
Yeah.
The 3 things the UN has a problem with us over:
Human rights.
human rights, which I find
Uh,
fascinating, but children in prison, which is why the age was
Indigenous affairs.
Indigenous affairs, and I can't find the third one.
And net zero might be,
Environmental.
Oh, yeah.
environmental.
And I agree with those 3 things. But, Jacinta Allen came out and said, we're going to raise the age of going to jail
Adult crime, adult time.
at all time. She introduced the lowering of that age
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's just,
So she's fixing her own problem.
but the whole
That
that
just
whole
pisses
area
me
is
off.
totally out of control.
So
And I think it's the Indigenous affairs stuff, without sidetracking this too much, is most of the problems are not in Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra. So most people don't see the problem and feel the problem.
No, and I'd love to get an Aboriginal leader in here, and I have tried to approach the politicians.
Oh, I might have someone. I did some work stacker work for a department called, an organisation called NACHO of all things. And they looked at Aboriginal health of all things. Calling himself NACHO, so crazy, a National Aboriginal Community Health Organisation or something. And they were doing some really good stuff. They run community hospitals all around Australia in one group, and they were trying to work out how could they work together better. And I tried to convince them.
That's a great idea.
I said, well, why don't you go to Toyota and Telstra and say you want them to give you a really good price, because there's every chance you're already using Toyota and Telstra anyway, and you don't actually then have to make any change, you just get a better price.
Yeah.
And I did a whole heap of strategy work for them, and it all came to shit because the first meeting I went to was they flew me to Brisbane for this meeting, and they said, we're running out of time because we're going to dinner. So what do you want me to do? I'll come back next month. I said, you're
And
kidding.
that's my problem, you know. My
And-
problem
and you think,
with all it is that all the things they talk about are outcomes. Not
Aboriginals.
That's
all the focus is on outcomes.
Yeah,
So
correct.
why are they in jail? No one ever, so they focus on let's get less of them in jail, but really we should be asking
Why
why,
are they
are
in
they all
jail?
going to jail?
why are they doing the wrong things.
Why are they taking drugs?
Correct.
Why are they, you know, why do they need so much community hospitals?
Yeah.
Why is their health?
So in fact, the community hospital thing was a really good thing. Almost all the employees were Indigenous, and an Indigenous board running it. And but there's like 10 of them around Australia. And I think they need to build on the good stuff better. But this group, what the final straw with me was I had to go up to Canberra for something for them. And I said, I'll just stay in the place I normally stay in Canberra. It's in Northbourne Avenue. It's like $150. No. Everyone who comes and does work for us start at the Park Hyatt. We'll put you in the Park Hyatt. We'll pick up. I said,
That's my other point is, you know, they bang on about spending, but no one's auditing
Accountable.
the spending. You know, no one's.
There's actually a law that they don't audit any Aboriginal spending. So they audit the money that comes from the government. They don't audit what the Aboriginal people
But
do.
that's a bigger problem to solve. That's a debate. That's
and as a
over.
side issue from what
But-
I was talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But it is
But
something,
I'd love
as
to.
a country, we've got to solve.
I'd
Well,
love-
yeah, I'll see if I can find this woman for you.
But I'd love to, because there's some token things we do. But if you started again with a clean sheet of paper, how would you manage it?
Yeah.
And I think you've always got to have two societies sitting on top of each other. One, I'm off track. I'll go back to track. So talking about the US proved themselves during World War II because they did come to our defence.
Yeah.
And they did put in 100,000 troops or whatever it was
Yeah.
in Australia. So
But the world's very different now.
the world's very different now and much more complex. So, yeah.
And I don't know how much now, because I look now at, you talk about a conflict in the future, it's going to look and feel so different.
Well,
And maybe they're helping us a lot now that we don't know with cyber stuff.
I'm assuming they are.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
assuming they are.
So they're doing a lot of cyber help now for
Yes.
us, perhaps.
So we make the assumption that, you know, it's been proven, but with the Ukraine thing, that a small army with drones can now defend a lot easier. Than, you know, say 50 years ago, it was who's got the bigger missiles, right? Now it's okay. No, it can be more about guerrilla warfare and tactical warfare using drones and that sort of stuff, and security. So the next war will probably be the people trying to take out each other's water supply through cyber, or people
Yeah.
trying to disable the infrastructure
I mean,
through cyber. Or
It was horrible, but I loved the Israeli one with the pages.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was...
I mean, where they had the pages blown up.
Yes.
You just think someone had thought that through right down the supply chain.
Yeah. That must have been 5 years in the planning.
Correct.
And that was
And you
beautiful.
think,
Not the people killed.
no, I'm sorry, I didn't like the outcome, but the smarts behind it says that's more of what's going to happen in the future.
So my assumptions are to be a cyber-based war.
Yeah.
That, you know, the drones and the unmanned can defend against a bigger army, and that the US and probably China have got a lot of tech that is not in the public domain yet. You know, that was shown up in the, what was the other conflict when they went in with the bombers, and they unveiled the bombers and went with the new bombers, the stealth bombers. So they've probably got a lot of tech that we don't know about yet that is probably helping us in the background.
So we're better off partnering someone, dare I say, like Israel, who probably
Well,
has.
they're very good at it. Yeah, very, very good at it.
Now, that's the last thing I want to partner with. But
Well, if you partner with the US, you sort of partner with Israel anyway.
You
so-
are. What I was going to say was, I think you're naive to think we're not already at war.
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
I agree.
We're already at war.
We're very economic.
China has been quietly acquiring earth minerals
Yep.
for 30 years.
Yep.
Now they are the
They're dominant everything.
They build out Africa. In the,
Congo.
well, all
Pacific?
Pacific's now their new target, so they're starting to build out Pacific.
Yeah.
So,
So there's.
But what are we trying to achieve?
Well,
What are we trying to achieve though?
who should we be partnering with
For what?
for the next 50 years?
But are we partnering to
For
sell more
survival?
shit or survive or?
Well, it's a balance of everything. There's survival, selling things, safety,
But see, I
technology.
don't see anyone invading us.
I say I do. You look at our geographic position in the world. We're beautifully positioned for either China or America to spy on each other.
But they don't
No,
need
no,
the
no.
whole country though. They could take over Guam or Papua New Guinea or
Well, the only thing I
geographical advantage.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to invade us. They're not going to be thousands of people turn up on our beach.
But I think we're already invaded.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So it's more a cyber type thing,
Yeah,
right? So
or financial.
or financial, yeah.
Yeah,
So what are you actually trying to stop? What's the outcome you want to get?
safety
I
for
don't know.
Australia.
So safety.
Okay.
So what does safety mean? Does safety mean that we haven't got Chinese cars all listening to us, or does safety mean? What does safety mean?
There was an article last week
Do
from
you,
America.
do you have a healthy, happy lifestyle? If we're all wealthy, but being spied on by everyone else in the world,
Yeah,
if we're all
So
happy and
even the
healthy,
supply chain thing, we brought
Yeah.
up the supply chain earlier on,
Yeah.
with the petroleum. So Australia's responsible to get new ships
yeah,
bought from China. So we bought ships from China
Yeah.
to fix our supply line problems.
yeah. The
but
concern,
we didn't fix the fundamental problem.
No.
the concern from one of the security agencies is China have built in fail safes in all these things,
Yeah.
I'm sure they have.
so they can turn a button and all their cars stop and all that.
So can Elon Musk.
So could Elon Musk. That's
And-
that's
so-
the point.
But I'd trust him because he's good and honourable. That's my tongue in my cheek for those people that can't quite see it.
I'm holding my chest now because I thought you were serious.
So I guess the other question there is, which country's values are more aligned to Australia
So you want
and culture?
to? Do you have to be values and culturally aligned to be a partner? Well, I suppose we're not going to be partners with anyone because we're too small. We're just a pimple on the side of a pumpkin. But
But we're valuable to both the US and China for different reasons.
Yeah.
As you said before, David, the geographic location helps the US a lot,
it does. But
and so things
China-
like Pine Gap and all that sort of stuff.
China doesn't need to attack us for our minerals. They
No,
buy them all
correct.
anyway,
Correct.
and they control. The
So they'll
price.
stay being our friends, and they're not doing us any harm, and they're making us wealthy.
And the flip side of that might be, just to sort of, if Elon Musk can put Starlink up and get satellites all over the planet watching everything anyway,
Yeah.
do they really need Australia anymore for Pine Gap and
Yeah.
their submarines and whatever?
And if they don't know, does that matter?
Well, what if we declared independence? Like, not independence. What is Sweden? Not Sweden.
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Neutral.
Neutrality. I don't know why people didn't just take them over, just because they said they were neutral. Why don't people take them over?
I actually don't know the answer
No,
to
that's a
that
good question.
do
Too
you?
hilly.
Too hilly. Well, Australia's very big, and you have to do all that sort of stuff.
So I'm not sure what we'd lose though, or what we'd gain if we were neutral. They'd keep spying. Both countries keep spying on us. And
Did you watch Trump's 80th birthday?
who's
Yeah.
no. I avoid that gentleman as much.
He had
Kidding.
wrestling on the lawn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was fantastic, wasn't it? It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. All the pomp and ceremony, walking the wrestlers through the White House and just
Yeah,
the
they came out from there.
ridiculous things he
He
says.
renamed the JFK Centre the.
It's gone back, hasn't it? Hasn't it been?
It's gone
It's
back.
gone back.
But he's changing everything to gold, and we're less and less aligned with America, and there's few people in America.
And I'm disappointed America hasn't pushed back more.
I agree, and I've talked to people in America.
Especially the stolen election stuff. If you actually believe in democracy, you actually have to admit you lost the
Yeah,
last
but
election.
don't you think there's an element of what we said earlier on? Most Australians, to compare, as long as they've got their ute and their beer, their ciggies and their Chico rolls, and not much else has really changed.
There was the party mechanism that couldn't concede that they lost. So now every election's tainted.
Yeah, tainted, yeah. Yeah.
But
Just like all the other third world countries.
well, yeah, just what I'm trying to get at is, that there is a war underway, and there is sanctions underway,
Yeah.
and there is hoarding of minerals underway.
Yeah.
And we're all living healthy and happy lifestyles.
Today,
Yeah, but
what will happen in 6 months, a year? I mean, if China really took Taiwan, America said they'd defend Taiwan. that I seriously think Trump would not defend Australia.
But
we would probably give it up. We'd all move to Victoria. And,
well, we wouldn't do anything about Taiwan. If China took over Taiwan, Australia would say that's very naughty.
but
Well, we might follow the Yanks in what, you know, we've
Yeah, but there's not much. I mean,
really huge.
I think we followed them in 50 times
Yeah.
and involved 65,000 troops.
Yep.
I just don't think we're safe.
but what I'm trying to say is, so what do you think is the bad outcome that's going to happen?
They just won't come to our aid.
So what?
Well, Indonesia will take over.
What will they do?
Put little
But I don't.
sulphur sticks on them.
But I don't. But I don't think that we're going to have 1 million people from Indonesia invade Australia.
No, but the defence did a study on if Indonesia attacked Australia.
Yeah.
And they worked out they can only defend between Melbourne and Sydney.
Yeah, correct.
And that little.
And it would take them a month before they noticed they were here. I mean, it's like, I guess that's the bit that I'm trying to get my head around is, what's this bad outcome that's going to happen?
Well, let's talk about debt. America's debt is 123% of GDP.
Yep.
Um,
That's screwed.
there are only people higher than that are Singapore, Sudan, and Italy. Which Sudan you can understand, a developing country. Italy you can't quite understand. But what if China calls in their debt?
Why would they?
Gee, you're in a fucking bad mood, aren't you?
But I'm struggling to see how. Well, they're quite happy to see America just drown.
So you think we should do nothing
I'm not-
and blindly follow? What if the next guy in is a wrestler, like the film Idiocracy?
Yeah.
Have you seen the film?
No, I haven't. Sorry, and I struggle with the concept. I'm not trying to argue with everything you say, but I'm struggling. But I am struggling to think of a scenario where the next person's worse than Trump.
Well, the vice president's worse than Trump.
Yeah,
Well,
he's a goose.
Yeah, but
He might run.
I'm not sure he's smart enough to be as destructive as Trump.
I'm a bit with Gary, actually. I haven't really thought about it, but I'm a bit with Gary. So China already owns the economics, you know. They may not own us culturally or militarily, but they pretty well own the country anyway. Three-quarters of the stuff we use is from China.
Well, Bunnings. If you said to Bunnings, no Chinese products,
They'd go broke.
there'd be nothing in the store.
Yeah.
So why does China need to do more than what they're doing now?
Well, China don't, but America just took Venezuela.
Well, America's not going to take us.
No, but they took. The war is underway.
Yeah, it is.
And they're taking pieces of the chess piece, and America's trying to stockpile rare earth minerals because they've lost the battle already and they're trying to catch up. Maybe out of this, we should be escalating our rare earth minerals exploration because we've got them.
But the good news is, though, we've got enough other shit that we can trade off. If you're Singapore, you're fucked because you haven't got anything to trade off with. Or at least, that's what I said, rare earths is the topical one at the minute. But if you look at the whole supply chain, it won't be the rare earth bit. It will be
Copper.
It'll be copper or it'll be something else. So you say we've got enough breadth of stuff.
So I think paraphrase, we've already lost the war. Australia's lost the war.
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
We've lost the war because we're linked to America, who's lost the war.
No, we've lost the war because China already owns us.
Owns everyone.
Yeah.
We've lost the war to China economically, and
militarily.
America's militarily, and America's still fighting. He's late to the game. That took them longer than they should have for them to realise that the war was underway and it was an economical war and a cyber war. So they continued to stockpile the military, thinking the military is still the answer. And Australia went through it about 2 months ago. Hang on, we've been buying submarines and missiles. We should have been buying drones.
Yeah.
So same
Right.
argument, right?
Yeah.
The problem is they're buying the drones from China.
From China. Who China will turn off the navigator.
Turn them all off,
system.
yeah.
So if you agree the war's over, what does that mean to us?
well,
That
again,
was-
to Gary's point, our lifestyles haven't really been impacted. The risk will be if the military does come up, what we've seen with the Straits of Hormuz, and we need to fall back to the older supply chains, and we've got nothing, we don't make any cars anymore,
Oil.
our oil, our planes, we've got no, what do they call them? They originally had a list of things that Australia must always own. There was a word for it.
Steel was always one of them.
Yeah, there's a list of things that they said Australia got to retain sovereignty over these certain things. And
It's like self-sufficiency assets.
yes, so self-sufficiency assets. So originally it was cars, that's why they subsidised Holden and Ford for so long. Iron ore, blah blah blah. So there's a list of 10 things that's pretty well scrapped that list. So
But the thing is, that list has never been updated. So there's
No.
a new list of things.
yeah,
The
exactly.
world passing by.
Yeah,
That's the list.
I don't know what that list is.
not probably rare earth, copper.
Yeah.
Well, see, if China, they're saying, could stop anyone getting any rare earth minerals, so that means there's no new missiles,
No new drones.
no new planes, no new drones. So the China have been incredibly
Strategic.
Yeah, they have.
and strategic and quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is fascinating to watch America lying every day on TV. We've
Correct.
won the war. They said something the other day, he said, I've won the war.
Yeah,
78
38 times.
38 times.
And now he's gone back to where they were.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Yeah, nothing's changed.
Yeah.
But it's not just the rare minerals. So you remember about a year ago, they run out of that AdBlue. Do you remember that AdBlue
Yeah.
they put in the diesel that extends the life of the trucks, the diesel trucks? There was a shortage of AdBlue, and there was a risk at one point that all the trucks in Australia would stop from one
Product.
one product.
Well, let's take tack, because I'm still arguing my point with you. The world used to be, the reserves in every bank in the world used to be US dollars and gold.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what percentage of banks in the world have US dollars as a reserve now?
Much less.
Probably pretty 10%,
58%.
58%.
So 42% of the world has moved away from the US dollar.
Yeah.
Now, with Trump there, that goes further.
Yeah.
It reinforces China's
Correct.
position.
Yeah.
So the economic power of the US is going to
Diminishing.
disappear
Mm.
in our
It'll
lifetime,
be
Already
it'll be a
is.
third world country in our lifetime. That's what
which we said
20 years ago.
20 years ago. I just worry what we do to position them. I mean, what do we do? Do we
Don't upset China.
don't upset China. So if we don't upset China, why
So-
are we going to China and talking about human rights?
Oh,
Because
that's around the edge. That's almost a political thing, not a
Yeah.
strategic thing.
Yeah, but they respond by saying we won't take your lobsters.
Yeah. So
So
again, it's just don't pick on me, or I'm bigger than you.
it
Don't,
is. It
Yeah,
is.
that's all it is.
And-
it's
and-
not. It's not. It's not like that. They know that.
we could actually do anything about it. Yeah.
Correct. They don't really care.
No, I don't.
And it's like with Trump. They say, well, we'll stop taking bourbon because that'll make all your corn farmers or go broke, and they're all in your electorate.
So if the war is over, or nearly over, right, and China has played a stealthy hand, a strategic hand, and probably outsmarted us.
A long-term.
The long-term plan, as you'd expect from China.
Yeah.
They've got all levers, all the economical levers, and the economical levers. My read is that historically the military levers always eventually overpower the economical levers, and now the economical levers are stronger than the military,
Yes.
differences.
But that must mean something to us.
Well, it does, but the question for me is, let's say the war's 80% over. Let's say it's not completely over. We've pretty well lost 80% of it. Let's say we get to the point where it reaches 100. It's not likely that China will come out and say, hey, it's now time for us to review what we've been doing for the last 50 years and we've won the war. They don't need to.
And we're going to double the price of everything in
They
Bunnings.
don't need to.
No, they don't need to, and it's not their style.
No.
China is a businessman,
Correct.
and so I lived in Singapore for a long time. Everything was about business,
Yeah.
face and business.
Yeah.
So, I think you're right.
So that's what I'm trying. That was the point I was trying to make before. Is say, so what's this bad outcome we're heading towards?
I don't know.
I'm
I
not
think,
sure.
I think the outcome China are chasing is the kudos around then being able to say that we've finally got the point where Xi Jinping and China is the most powerful country on earth.
They've got more tanks than
Not
every
more,
other
remember,
country.
The tanks...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the stuff on the ground is irrelevant nowadays.
They've got more jets than every other country combined. They've got more.
That's not going to count for anything. That's just so if someone else says, well, you're not winning on this measure.
In the meantime, their GDP's, good, they're making tons of dough.
See, I thought about this 15 years ago, and I paid my girls extra to do Chinese lessons
Yep.
because I thought we're all going to be reporting to our masters. But I'm of the position similar to yours, which is once China has exert their control over America, and once America realises it, which is with their arrogance 10 years away,
20 years, I say 20 minutes.
20 years away, I think they'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I do too.
Because it's not their style to... I don't
Poach.
think they've ever attacked another country.
It's a big call.
Or
I think they might have done it through.
Myanmar or
Oh, they've taken Nepal.
Nepal.
Yeah.
But they're countries they consider part of China.
But geographically, that's the other point I think was Keating made originally. If you look at the US and say China, if China want to expand, they can expand pretty easily westward. So, to Mongolia, Myanmar.
But and even as far as Europe.
Right up to Europe, right? The US is, straddled. They've got Canada on top and Mexico on the bottom. They can't be much better. If anything, the Mexicans are taking over the US. That's another story. They've really got nowhere to go.
Yeah, they've got no money.
They've got
to
no
do it.
money to do it. So the bigger threats, not China.
So how can we position our kids for this new world? When your
Well,
kids
it's-
are in
it-
cybersecurity, which
Correct.
is
Yeah.
growing.
But it's also interesting. It's just a bit of a side
Yeah.
thing.
Something.
Learning a language doesn't help anymore
No.
No,
because that's gone by the way.
yeah, it's a computer language.
I don't know. I'll get a job in tourism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit with Gary. I'm not sure what China would gain by taking over Australia any more than they already have.
Yeah.
No, I don't think... I think they'll get to the point where they'll stop the US having...
Veto power. No.
no,
The presence.
a presence in America
Yeah.
and Australia. And they've got all that minerals anyway, and they control the price as well.
But see, I'm not even sure they'd worry about something like Pine Gap because they'd say, well, they're not learning anything that special anymore anyway. We know everything they know.
Well, interesting if you look at
Yeah.
the stages of technology, they're saying, there was an article this morning on Sky News about America's planes going into Iran are actually, wheels are falling off and because they're old. And the plane that crashed the other day is 58 years
Yeah,
old.
B-52.
58 years old for a jet. You can guarantee every one of the Chinese jets is less than 10 years old.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, I flew to China recently on a Beijing Capital airplane. That well known that I'd never heard of, but it was a relatively new plane. It was actually a Airbus.
Of number 23, please. Fried rice.
So why did China produce so many brands of car then?
To flood the market.
But why don't you just do it?
But you also got to be careful. There is more brands than they need, but a lot of the brands are the same companies.
Yeah. So you saw a
I went to a Geely owned factory. Geely owned Volvo and Polestar and Zeekr and Lotus, and I've got my Zeekr shirt on. And-
my Coca-Cola shirt on.
And I was staggered coming off that production line. The first car was a Volvo, the next one was a Zeekr, the next one was a
It's been
Polestar.
over years.
Yeah.
20 years.
And well, 90% of there was almost no humans in the factory.
But my answer to your question, Kim, would be that if they want to hurt America any more than they already have, flood the market. We've seen the Japanese do it. The Koreans have done it. Flood the market with 50 brands.
Yeah, but they were always going to peak and
And
Oh,
that's
these
the plan,
guys will
right?
as well.
I don't think China will.
No, they will. So my thinking was flood the market with 50 brands, right, to appeal to different parts of the population, and eventually they will consolidate down to
Correct.
6.
And that was why I was happy to buy a Zika, because it's owned by Geely that owned 10 brands.
Yeah, but the Zika brand could go, right?
Correct. But the parent company will
It's still
survive.
there, yeah. But whether you can get parts, that's a different story. But
Yeah.
I imagine they reuse a lot of their parts in every car.
correct.
Do you think there's any risk of buying Chinese products for
Yeah.
security, satellites?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
But I'm not sure it's any worse than buying an American product.
No, well, that's a really important point.
I mean,
Because somebody said to me once, isn't China terrible? They're spying on us and they're doing this. America's doing that, and they have been doing it for ages.
I'm sure Cisco routers have got code in it
Yeah,
for the
sure.
CIA
Yeah.
on everyone's network.
Yeah,
But
we
they're saying-
we banned Huawei,
Yeah.
Huawei,
Yeah.
Huawei.
Huawei.
So we won't buy Chinese security cameras, but we'll have them running on. We'll have Cisco networks
Mm.
in every corporate.
Which China will eventually buy.
Yeah.
Cisco.
Mm.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a natural end to the conversation.
So
You lost, we won. I thought, well,
Yeah, well, I was only trying to say that I think the war is over, which is really my point.
Yeah, yeah.
The war is almost over. And I'm not sure America knows.
No, I
No,
agree.
no, no.
I agree.
Correct.
I still think they're fighting on a military basis.
Yeah.
They've been slow to respond on the economic front.
and on the political front, they've all been told, "Don't worry, we'll go back to the 1960s where
Yeah.
everything was good.
Yeah.
Vote for me, I'll take you back to the 60s."
Yeah.
That's not the answer.
But America was only powerful in the 60s because they made money out of the Second World War.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that's been in decline.
Well, without military, their economy would
Yeah.
just about
Tank.
die.
Mm.
Okay.